Have you ever felt really stuck? Like things are just too overwhelming and it feels like you aren't making progress? In this video, I'm going to share a secret to always making progress, moving yourself forward to getting something big done, even when it might just be tough to get out of bed. Hi, my name is Justin Kraut and I created this brand to help you grow yours. I create content that helps real estate agents, entrepreneurs, and small businesses to build their brand and build their business simply by sharing what I've learned in the corporate world. And I want to talk about the challenge of always making progress, how to ensure you're moving your brand and your business forward, especially when things get overwhelming. If you've ever been in the corporate world, you'll know there's a rhythm, a scripted set of workdays with activities wrapped around business hours, meetings, emails, and deadlines. That structure forces you into a rhythm each day that helps you make progress. But clearly, when you step out of that world, you have to create your own rhythm. You need to build your own disciplines and routines, and it's hard. So I want to share a secret I learned and I use, and I'll share it in a story. A few years ago when I was in the office at my last job, I ran into my friend Dan and I hadn't seen him in a while. And Dan looked amazing. He was fitter, leaner, more muscular. This was like Dan 2.0. And obviously the first thing I'm asking Dan is, dude, what are you doing? So I'm making mental notes as Dan tells me about his new paleo diet and the fact that he started running. And I was like, running? Because I remember talking to him about both of us kind of hating running. But he told me about a technique he used called chi running that was based on a book. And it teaches you how to control your body in a way that takes a lot of that stress and the pounding off of your knees and actually makes jogging and running more enjoyable. So I was really intrigued. And of course, I wanted to take on Dan's transformation. A few months later, as I was on that Dan journey, we had one of our annual corporate 5K, 10K fun runs. Every year we would have one of these pretty cheesy corporate events where all the cubicle office dwellers like me would get out into the sun all day and pretend that we're way more fit and active than we actually are. I met my friend Tara at the starting line and she was planning to just walk the 5K, but I asked her if she wanted to try jogging some of it with me. She wasn't really into jogging and neither was I still, but I thought it could be fun and maybe make our day more interesting. I also wanted to try a technique from chi running with her, and this is the core of the secret that I want to share with you. Here's what I believe is the secret to always making progress. First, you set a ridiculously simple near-term goal that gets you on the right track. Then you crush it, you reward yourself in some small way, and you do it again. It is beautifully simple, and it tricks you into making way more progress than you ever thought. Here's how I applied it to that jog. I told Tara, let's just jog to that bush up there, and it was maybe 25 yards ahead of us. Ridiculously simple. I knew we could easily jog to that. When we got there, I said, why don't we try to jog to that fence? Why don't we try to jog to that corner? What happens is you get to the bush, you get to that fence, you get to that corner, you hit these little micro targets, and you celebrate these little micro wins. And the magic is they start to stack up. You stack these little wins that give you this much needed confidence and momentum, and you feel great about yourself, and it tricks yourself into making more progress, and you take the next thing on right away without even thinking about it. Throughout that jog, we kept asking each other, you think you can keep going? And we just kind of continued to challenge ourselves and challenge each other to get to that next little target. Before we knew it, we jogged the entire 5K. What's amazing is that we never talked about jogging the whole thing when we started. We just stacked up all those little wins and we made a ton of progress. Taking on big goals and challenges as like a complete body of work is daunting. It's intimidating, and it makes us feel overwhelmed. But little goals are ridiculously easy. They're definitely achievable, and they make us feel confident and capable to do more without the stress of thinking about the entire thing. Intermediate targets are powerful. If you love golf like I do, you probably know how the pros use them. So they step up to these crazy difficult 300-yard shots, and just before they get to the ball, many of them will stand behind their ball and pick this intermediate target. And what they do is they look at exactly where they want the ball to go, and then they draw an imaginary line back to the ball. Then they pick this tiny little target on that line, just a few inches or a foot in front of the ball. They find this little thing to aim at, like a piece of grass or a small leaf. They then set up at the ball and they simply aim the club and their body at that tiny spot, because they know if they send the ball over that tiny spot, their ball will be on the right path and it'll be in the right direction to get to that much further destination. They do the same thing when they're putting. They set these tiny, incremental, easily achievable spots for the ball to go over, because they know it will get the ball on the right path to the hole every time. They know the ball has to go over that tiny spot to reach the destination. And it's these little micro targets they know they can achieve. And it's so much easier to think about something that's 3 inches in front of your ball than 300 yards away. And it actually makes the game of golf a lot less intimidating and a lot more enjoyable if you try it. Here's one final kind of stupid example. And if we're honest, sometimes it's just hard to get out of bed in the morning. And let's say you have a tough meeting or something big to prepare for that day, and it is stressing you out and you can't get out of bed. Forget about the meeting or that big thing for a second and just set a tiny goal to just get out of bed. Just stand up and then crush it. Amazing. Great job. Now set a goal to go brush your teeth. Amazing. You crushed it. Great job. Take a shower. Drink water. Crushed it. Crushed it. Make coffee. Make breakfast. Crushed it. Stack these little wins up and you'll have confidence and momentum, and you'll take on all the next things throughout the day in preparation for that big meeting or that big thing. How much easier is it to ask yourself to just get out of bed than to take on that stressful meeting? This is really just about getting you and your stress out of the way. So my encouragement is that when you're having difficulty making progress, give yourself ridiculous, easily achievable goals that get you on the right path. Crush them, reward yourself, and you do it again. You'll stay focused and you'll trick yourself into making way more progress than you thought. And if you can, take someone else on those journeys with you. Someone that can help both of you hit those little goals and have those little mini celebrations. The best part of my story with Tara is that each one of these company fun run events, there was always this official award ceremony afterwards. Like the CEO would say a few words and then actually hand out medals and take pictures of all the winners. It was at this point that Tara realized she signed up for the 5K walk and it just jogged the whole thing. So the highlight of my day was watching her face as she realized she won the walk and then go up and receive her first place medal in front of the entire company. And nobody besides us knew she had just jogged the whole thing, and she probably set a world record. I hope this video helps you make the progress you need, and if it did, please like the video and subscribe. I'd also love to hear other secrets you have. Please share them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.